If you're an up and coming Pokemon card business, it is really difficult right now to find anything to sell. Distribution doesn't really have anything for you, even if you have distribution, which most of us don't. Japanese product is incredibly expensive right now, and it's hard to really gauge that market if you're not really familiar with it, and it can be a little scary to jump into. PSA, Tag, all of these grading companies are super backed up as well, so it's really taking a long time to get graded cards back as well. So with the market how it is and how hard it is to get stuff, my favorite way to get product is buying out collections. So today I want to talk to you about how I find collections, how I process them, and pick what I'm going to send off to be graded, sell, hold, etc. So let's go into this collection right here. This one is one that I got from a friend of mine actually that reached out. He wanted to sell off his collection. He'd had it for a little while and was ready to be done with it. He was moving on to another hobby and something that he really wanted to put some money into. So we talked it out and decided about 70% market overall is what we wanted. Let me show you some of the highlights of it first. It might have been loud, but that's snapping those latches on a really nice case. It's a great feeling. So a lot of the cards were cards like this, where they're, different EXs, some cards that'll have a little bit of value, some that won't, but those were kind of thrown into the deal. Then we had some higher value cards, like these really cool Crown Zenith cards. Obviously, this was a big set for this guy. Oh, we got some Surging Sparks in there too, a little bit of Japanese 151, some Arceus from Crown Zenith, some really sick cards. Good value on those. We made sure that we worked out a deal where we were both very happy and could, be content with the deal. The two big cards were the ones that I was most excited about versus this beautiful PSA 10 Lugia V from Silver Tempest. Incredible card, love that card. And then we had the Twilight Masquerade Grail, the PSA 10 Greninja. Super excited about both of those cards. Those were the big sticking points for this deal. There are other cards in here that are worth a fair amount, a lot of Crown Zenith, a lot of Surging Sparks. So when I'm finding these deals, a lot of times I do aim for that 70% range, 75% closer to the high end, especially if there's a lot of high value cards in there, then I feel comfortable going to 75 and maybe like 76, 77, somewhere in that range. I'm also aiming at cards that I think are pretty liquid. So things that I can get that'll be a decent value that can be quickly sold, and I can kind of turn that money back into another collection or whatever deal I find and grab it and keep going. And you might ask yourself, why would someone sell their collection for 70 to 75% when they could just sell it themselves? It's all about convenience. He doesn't want to have to deal with tcgplayer and shipping and customers and all that. And I do, and I want to grow my business. So I have a percentage off from that deal, and he gives me the percentage to not have to deal with it. So I'm happy, he's happy. We're all happy. Usually I'm finding these deals on Facebook Marketplace. It's my preferred way just because I can go meet the person, have the cards in my hand, and not have any surprises when I open a package from eBay or Mercari and be like, well, crap, I just got screwed because these cards are not nearly the condition I thought they were. And yeah, I can get my money back for that, but who wants to deal with the hassle of dealing with eBay or tcgplayer, support? I do not. So I'll look on Facebook Marketplace. I'll try to find some collections that have cards that are a little more liquid. There's a lot of cards out there that are, bulk cards and these really big bulk lots. And they're not terrible if you're looking for bulk stuff, but I would rather have higher value, quicker turnaround cards than having to sort through bulk, though I do sort through a lot of bulk. And that'll be another video because there's a lot of value in bulk. There's a lot of value in that kind of work, and it may be a little annoying, but it's definitely worth it. Once I find it, I'll contact the person that has it and see what they're looking for, offer, around that 70%, try to find some range in there that works for both of us. And I will always ask for pictures of higher dollar cards because I want to make sure that, front and back, they look good, and to make sure they have them, I'll ask for a timestamp with a couple of the really high-end cards. Once I find a deal that I like, I'll set up a meeting, hopefully at a public location or somewhere that I feel safe, to make sure that, nothing weird's going on, because you have to be careful. And I'll look through the cards one more time, give a quick glance, make sure those higher dollar cards that I was seeing are in fact, the ones that I'm getting in this deal, and I'll look through stuff really quickly. They expect you to a lot of times. So if someone's getting really impatient and being like, oh, hurry up, I just don't have time for this, that's when you have to be a little hesitant, just because if they really want this deal and they understand what's going on here, then they're not going to be sitting there trying to push you and push you and push you. A lot of times if someone's just sitting there pushing you, like, they probably have something they're trying to hide, or hopefully something you won't notice. And that's when I'm a little more hesitant and I'm quicker to back out of a deal. That's only happened once, but you know, just in case that happens, it's something to keep in mind. Don't let someone hurry you up when you're in your process of buying something. You're there to make a transaction. Make sure you take your time. So it usually only takes me a minute or two to look through the cards and make sure everything looks good. And I'll, you know, pay them whatever they wanted, or if it's a trade, we'll make sure the trade works for them. And I'm on my way. I've got my cards and I'm back in my car heading home. Usually once I get home, I'll separate everything into higher dollar cards, lower dollar cards, and I'll take the lower dollar cards and set them aside for a little bit just because I'm looking to potentially stream on Whatnot or Drip or something at some point. I know there's a lot of weird scams and nonsense happening on Whatnot, people crumpling free packs because they got mad about it. Like, well, don't offer it. I don't know. It's stupid, it's childish, it's immature, it's dumb. But I think there is a lot of good opportunity there. And I think the more good, honest, trustworthy sellers we have there, the quicker we can weed out the people that shouldn't be there. The scammers and the people that are just doing stupid stuff. And trust me, you will never catch me doing any of that crap. Like, I cannot stand, it just doesn't make any sense to me to throw away your business, your name, all of that stuff for a couple $1,000s. It's just dumb. It's so short-sighted. In reality, I want everyone that comes to these streams, when I do them, if I do them, to have a good time, to get their value, and to be able to walk away saying, that Coda guy, Coda's Collectibles, that was sick. Like, he took care of everyone. We opened, you know, great stuff. He was always making sure that everyone was happy and taken care of. I'm gonna go back to him. Oh, he has a store, he has a website. Let's go check him out. Let's go buy some stuff from him. You know, that's how you build a business and build a community and build a name. Anyway, I'll jump off that soapbox. It just irks me to no end. Back to collections. So once I get the ones that I want to set aside for a future stream, I will sift through the higher dollar ones. And these are the ones that I'm going to look through to potentially send off for grading. I know I said the grading is kind of backed out right now, and it is. I've had an order in there for a month that's just sitting in order prep still, so.
Woo, PSA!
But long term, I think that these cards will be worth it to have in PSA 10s, and I'm only sending things that I'm very, very confident in. So once I've gone through cards for grading, and once I've gone through cards for Whatnot, streaming, whatever I do with those, I take everything else and I start getting ready to inventory it on tcgplayer or eBay. Right now, most of it is going through tcgplayer just because it is the simplest for me, and I've been so busy with work that the little bit of ease is worth it for me right now, though I am continuing to build out a website to hopefully have these things housed eventually. And yeah, the process of conditioning and getting the cards uploaded and all that, that is the most annoying part of the process, at least for me. It's tedious, but it's incredibly necessary. So this is just one of the more time-consuming parts of the process. And once they're up, that's it. You sell them, you ship them, and you restart the process over again. This process has been pretty effective for me so far. It's really hard to get sealed product right now. Grading companies are so far behind, and without having a website, Japanese doesn't really make sense for me at the moment, just because of the fees and tcgplayer and eBay. It just doesn't end up being worth it. Finding collections does, of course, have its own issues. You're having to work with people who not everyone is going to be super happy with you trying to get their collection for 70 to 75%. They're going to be wanting max dollar for it, even though they're not realizing, hey, that tcgplayer market price, fees, shipping materials, time, you're not factoring any of that in. You just want 100%. But there are plenty of people out there that are just looking to move off their collection. They are looking to move it into something else, maybe a different hobby, or, you know, life stuff happens, or they just simply want to maximize their profit off of the market and don't want to deal with the hassle. And that's where you come in to get your percentage, sell it off, and build your business. And not every collection buy is going to be super successful. This one may be more successful. You know, it's a bull market right now, so I may get 50% off of this stuff if, you know, a lot of these high dollar cards spike, especially since a lot of it's Crown Zenith, and Crown Zenith is pretty much out of print. But, you know, if these cards drop in price, then I may be looking at breaking even, you know, very low percentage gains. So that's why I look for highly liquid cards, because I want to be able to take them, price them, send them out again. I want to keep that process going because right now we're in a bull market. I want to maximize that bull market because eventually it won't be that way. And then I'll switch gears. There probably will be less collections and more sealed product, Japanese product, whatever. But this is what's working for me right now, keeping everything liquid and continuously cycling this stuff through. I hope this was helpful. I know a lot of people don't necessarily think off the bat, oh, collections is a good way to go to grow the business, but it is a very effective way for me at least. And I think in this market especially, it's really effective. As the market turns, it'll switch to sealed, it'll switch to graded. I'm just going to kind of keep those avenues open, but for now, this is working really well for me. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure you leave a like, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. And let me know in the comments what else you'd be interested in learning about grading or the business side of things or TCG player, any of that fun stuff. I'm still learning a lot of stuff, but I'd love to bring you anything that I find helpful that might be helpful for you as well. As always, thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.